It's raining out, so that means review time. Top 5 reasons why I bought a Tacoma. My reasons are a little bit not so scientific, okay? A lot of it's personal reasons and personal preference, okay? So I didn't see a lot of videos like this out there, so I figured I'd do one. So let's get started. Number one reason, and I'm hard on my number one reason. It is a manual. It is a manual transmission. Okay, so a lot of guys will give me some flack about that. Manuals or autos and things like that, but this is my truck. I'm paying the bills, and you should feel the same way. You buy the truck that suits you. Okay, so for me, manual transmission over the automatic transmission any day of the week. Any day of the week. Assuming you got 2 working legs and you got 2 working arms. Well, maybe just 1 arm, but at least 1 arm. For me, the manual transmission is a big deal just because I love the motorsports world, and I've owned a majority of the cars I've owned have been manuals. I like the way they drive. I like the character it puts off. I like being in control of the power band, the transmission, things like that. So I'll give you one good reason, right? This is a truck. So say you're towing down the highway. You're doing like 55, right? And you see a hill coming, and you're in like say 5th or 6th gear. You see a hill coming. You should probably down it to 3rd or 4th before you get to the hill, so it's a smooth transition as it goes to the hill. That's what an automatic guy would do. No, I mean that's what a manual transmission guy would do. The automatic transmission doesn't do that. I mean, you can kind of force it in gear, but majority of the people won't ever get it out of the drive mode. So what probably is going to happen is they'll get up to the base of the hill, the engine's going to struggle real hard, they're going to lose a lot of speed, and then they'll gun it on the gas throttle pedal, and then they'll downshift a couple times, and then you can go again. But that's just one thing I just don't like. I think for me, it's one of those little pet peeve things where if you know something's coming up, prepare for it. Don't wait for the last minute. So that is one of the main reasons, and that's one of the examples. Another good example is passing people on the highway. You want to downshift, things like that, but you don't necessarily want to dump the throttle all the way to 100. Maybe you only want to go like 80, but you want to go into 3rd and pass people. And on top of that, like I said, it's just a personal preference thing, but it is my number one. Number 2 is its resale value. Tacoma has the number 1 resale value of all trucks, and even all cars. The resale value is so good that it forced me to buy a new truck, because at first I was looking for a 2nd generation and ended up buying a 3rd generation. But I was looking for a really good condition 2nd generation. And it turns out, if you want a really good condition, low mileage 2nd generation, you're going to be above $20,000. You're probably going to be in the $25,000, $26,000 range. So I figured for another 5 or 6, you'd buy a new one. And if you look at payment plans, it's not that much more. It's like another $100, something like that. And you get a brand new car. So, in my opinion, just go buy a brand new car. Don't even waste your time on 2nd generation. Unless, I mean, there are some little things in there too, but for the majority of the people, I think I will fall in line with them when I say, if you're going to pay like $25,000, $27,000 already, you might as well just buy a new one. $31,000, $32,000, $33,000. With that being said, my dad's truck, he bought the 2005, and today's 2019, right? And I blue booked his value, and it's still, I think it's like $6,500 or $7,000 in bad condition with 200,000 miles. My brother bought a 2013, and he sold a couple years later, and he still got like 26,000 out of his. I think he had 45,000 miles on it, and it was a 2013. He sold it in 2015. Bought it for 31,000 and sold it for 26, even though he only owed 21 on the loan. So he actually made $5,000 out of it. Yeah, so resale value is actually quite important because you don't know what's going to happen in the truck. I mean, you sign up for a 5 or 7 year loan, right? But you don't know if your family's going to grow or unforeseen circumstances come up. You gotta get rid of the truck, and you don't want something that you can't get rid of because you still owe too much money on it. So you always want something where you're above the water, not below the water. Okay, I hope you guys understand what I mean. Okay, so number three is a major deciding value factor for me as well, is the aftermarket support on the truck. Now, a lot of people don't look beyond the OEM or just barely scratch the surface of the aftermarket world. But for me, I did a lot of research. I said, I had a vision in my mind about what I wanted in the end, and can the OEM provide it? I mean, can Toyota, as an original equipment manufacturer, can they provide it? And if they can't, can somebody else do the job? Or who can provide the same thing at a better price, right? So I did a lot of research into that, and the truck as configured is exactly what I had in mind. I had specific wheels, I have specific tires, and I had a specific camper cap out back in mind. So as soon as I bought the truck, I actually ordered the truck with no options. The truck is a 2019 TRD off-road manual transmission, of course, in the desert tan, or Toyota calls it quicksand, and double cab, of course. And that's it. That's all I wanted. Bare bones. If it didn't come with it, I didn't want it. As soon as I got it, I put on some expensive wheels, expensive tires, and an expensive cap, and I was done. I hit my targeted budget, $40,000 for the truck. And I would say the truck looks really good. It looks really attractive to my eyes. And that's what really matters, right? You're paying the bill. So, yes, look at the aftermarket world. Make sure they have what you want. And when I looked at the Tacoma, everything was there. All the products I supported look good. There's thousands of companies doing Tacoma stuff. I mean, the mount the camera is on is done by a guy who built this mount. Best mount on the planet. And I think he pretty much built it out of his garage. But yeah, I'll shoot the links to that too. The cool camera mount system. By far, like there's a loyal following. There's companies and there's individuals who are willing to step up and give you these products. So Tacoma, it reigns number one. Number four is kind of a negative thing, but at the same time, it pretty much just made the decision easier. Okay, before I bought the truck, I gave Toyota and Honda 2-year trial and error kind of deal, because one of my cousins bought a 2016 model. He had nothing but problems with it. Like, I mean, he had problem after problem after problem. So knowing me, I usually say don't buy the first wave or the first years. And I wanted to wait it out a little bit. Plus, my little Civic at the time it could still do the job just fine. So I decided to wait it out. And at the same time, Honda was going to release the Ridgeline. And in my mind, Honda really screwed up the first Ridgeline. And I was hoping they'd learn from their mistakes and deliver a proper mid-sized truck. Proper in my eyes means solid rear axle and a manual transmission. Those are the only two things that I really wanted Honda to come through on. So I waited 1.5 years. Honda releases the Ridgeline. The prototype for the Baja prototype was a twin turbo version. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, if they release a twin turbo Ridgeline, that's me. I'm in. I don't care if it's like $45,000 for a base model. I'm getting one. Lo and behold, they release it. It's nothing like the Baja 500 or 1000 truck. And I was super disappointed. Didn't even come with a manual transmission. Did not come with a solid rear axle. So at that point, I was kind of like, man, so what am I getting here? I was kind of like thinking it over, and I was like, I'm basically getting like a minivan with the back hacked off when you buy a Ridgeline. So I was thinking, it's too far away from what a truck is. And yes, I do tow a little bit with the truck too. Primarily a lot of light loads, but I've towed an excavator before. I think it's a 3-ton excavator or 2-ton excavator from Home Depot. That was pretty heavy. That was the first month in. And then I towed boats before, probably 5,000-pound boats I've towed before, but the majority of the time is towing the kayaks and towing my little John boat around. So for me, the mid-size truck was still had to be a good workhorse too. Granted, it doesn't have to do everything, but it still had to be capable. And I just didn't find that I don't think the Ridgeline would have tough enough parts to do that. So Ridgeline was finally crossed off the list, and Tacoma, which was already there at number 1, reigned supreme at number 1. And 2 years later, I placed an order for 2018, but it ended up being a 2019 because I don't know how the Toyota system works. But I bought a 2018, they couldn't deliver it on time, so they bumped me up to 2019 for the same price, basically. All right, so that's number 4. Honda dicked it up, Number 5. My 5th reason for the truck is it's one of those things is like your good friends have been recommending it to you for so long. Friends and family, actually. In my immediate family, my dad's owned 3 Toyota trucks. He's owned an 84, an 89, and then he's owned a 2005. Still owns a 2005. Haven't had any problems with it until 180,000 miles when it blew a head gasket. And that was actually a well-known Toyota Tacoma problem too. So I don't know what the deal's up with that, but all the other Tacomas are good. For some reason, my dad, once again, the very first wave, he bought the very first wave and had a major issue at 180,000 miles. So with that being said, a lot of people are like, oh, it broke at 180,000. Yeah, but if you look at other brands, right? Other brands, other brand of trucks, I just hear nothing but just bad feedback all the time. Like, man, trucks breaking down at 70,000, 80,000, 120,000 miles is just like, holy crap. I don't know how that happened. But Toyotas seem to break on average way farther out is what I'm trying to say. So it kind of sucks when you're paying your payments on your truck and as soon as you're done with it, you have a head gasket failure or transmission blows or alternator fails or AC compressor fails or something like that, because that's not what you're paying for. That's what I want. So for number 5, it's just reliability. Okay. Problem avoidance, reliability. It's been, like I said, I've had a lot of Tacomas and Tundras, the Toyota brand, and I can attest that the Tacoma brand and Tundra brand, for that matter, very reliable. Might not have the best specs compared to the competition, but when it comes to reliability, I don't think anybody can argue that with the Toyota. And the reason for that is I believe they use better components, better quality parts, and the way the system is plugged together, the overall design is just better. And that's something you can't see on a spec sheet. So when we buy our trucks, we always look at the engine. We always take a peek underneath the cars to see how they're put together. And every time I do that, Toyota always seems to set the standard for all the brands. And like I said, I nitpick stuff like that because shit, I'm paying the bills, and I hope that helps you out too, because that's just who I am, and those are my 5 reasons. I don't want to rant on too long, but I hope that helps you out is what I'm trying to say. All right, so with that being said, those are my 5 reasons why I picked the Tacoma over everybody else. All right, so before you leave, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and sub to the channel if you would like. What we do is we do a lot of fishing. A lot of catching, cook, stuff like that. So stick around if you want to. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the 5 reasons. See ya. Connery from Out of Work Outdoors.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching, but stop freeloading. We need you guys to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll see you guys on the next one.